All right, mister. Let's get let's let's uh let's see what's going on here. So Bob, overall, you have to remember what when the messages come across, they don't always have to make sense. It's basically it's the message that came from spirit, okay? That sometimes our will to will something, like we want something, a message may come across and it's the complete opposite of that. And a lot of the times messages from spirit, it's like we get that that's what you want, but what's going to serve in your highest good is over here or looking elsewhere. Okay. Um, Let me pull on the real estate thing really quick. And keep in mind, of course, you do have free will. So if like I pull cards and it's like don't do real estate, that doesn't mean that it's not right for you. Okay. But it's really important to take a look at certain things in terms of if you keep going after something and it's not working, you can keep doing that. Some people will say, well, you have to try harder, you have to hang in there. But at the same time, if you have other options, then it's like you have to open those doors and try those options as well. Okay, so you really want to do real estate. Spirit guides, should Bobby do real estate? I think financially it's probably not the best to do right now. I think the outcome, of course, and I understand real estate a little bit. I have a friend who owns a real estate company, and I have a bunch of other friends who are real estate agents. Basically, the first card that comes up is anxiety. All right, because it's about making the choice of, shoot, can I financially do this with basically nothing, and hopefully, hang on while I wait for it to grow. Okay. As far as, if you've talked to somebody about this, possibly a female, and she's mentioned kind of like, well, you could be making this or you could be making this, I feel like this person, not that they weren't being honest with you, but I feel like if this is a person or information, okay, whatever it sounds like at first may not be the total truth, okay? Because this Queen of Swords, see, she's pointing at something. Well, she's pointing at, basically, we'll say that this is like a real estate agent, and he's helping people, okay? But this isn't a balanced card. She's saying that it's balanced, but it's not, okay? I feel like in terms of real estate, it would take time for you to see money. Eventually, could you get there? Yeah, absolutely. I think that's in you to do it, but I think it would take time. So it's really a matter of, thinking, are you going to be happy doing that? Happy kind of like in the shadows, waiting and waiting and waiting. Okay? Almost like, are you okay with doing something where the payout may take a while? I feel like, I don't know, what's the word? I feel like it might get you down in a way. Like you'll be strapped for money. So then you'll have to look at, okay, I'm doing what I want to do, but I'm strapped for money, so now I'm depressed, and now I'm struggling. And then questioning, why did I even do this, okay? Hope that helps, but I'm not trying to deter you away from doing real estate, okay? So let's go to your questions. Will you have a new job by October 1st? Stay hopeful with that. I think if anything, there's a part of you that's hopeful about it, but there's uncertainty behind that. And I don't know what that's about. What's the uncertainty about? I kind of get, Bobby, that in your mind, as far as being clear, like having clarity about things, being focused, that's off, that you're not balanced. I feel like you're spending more time in your body than you are up here, okay? Because it's like the mixed messages that are coming up, it's like, okay, well, in order for you to find that success, Bob, to find out what's going to work for you, financial stability, your livelihood, you've got to be in the state of the King of Swords, which is, I'm clear, I know exactly what I want. I'm not bouncing around. And I know that sometimes, when you're looking for work, I've been there recently, actually, where you're looking around going, well, I guess I could do this, or I like doing that, and then you apply for it and you don't get it. It's like, shit. And then you apply for something else that's kind of similar, and then you start getting job offers of jobs that you don't want, and it's like, ah. But I feel like overall, in terms of your hopes, there's a little bit of kind of like, it's not absolute. Meaning you might be wishing about certain things, but remember how he's saying kind of bouncing around? I just feel like in your mind, there's like this crunch. That like the ideas, everything's, it's all doing this, okay? And they're all swirling around, but nothing's set, okay? So, I'll ask one more time. Spirit guides, will Bobby have a new job by October 1st? It's possible, Bobby, but you need to get clear. Because Spirit's saying the action that you need to take right now is to get clear. Because you're praying for the new job, but this guy, he's focused on all these other cups. Okay? So there's balance needed, because in your mind, there's a lot going on. A lot of swords. Okay? So Spirit's saying it's all about balance. Anything else for Bob in terms of a new job? I just kind of get that job that you wanted still bothering you that you didn't get. On an emotional level. There's just a lot of focus on money. I just feel like the overall message that Spirit's trying to get across is that, you know, if you're uncertain about what it is that you want, like the real estate thing, and that's the thing, Bob, is that uncertainty keeps coming up, going from here to here to here to here to here. It's about really, and I think this job that you're in is really kind of affecting that, to where it's like if we need to switch it up, Bob, it's like going into work. Like say you're going into work tomorrow. It's like before you walk in that front door, you need to ground yourself. You need to surround yourself with like white light, like your own bubble. That way the things that normally irritate you or piss you off, or the things that come up like I don't want to be here, will be less abrasive on you. And that you're not projecting it outward, so then it's coming back to you, that you're able to kind of flow throughout the day, because the more flow that you have and the more ease, and the less of projecting outward, the more clear you're going to be in terms of like, kind of like getting you to feel more like yourself, okay? Because you are in the deck, you're the Fool, okay? And it's like you like to have fun, you like adventure, you like new things, and I feel like at this time, part of the struggle might be is Spirit's trying to guide you. But you're clouded a little bit in your mind, okay? With all these different ideas, frustrations, wonders, wanting, okay? Should you start pursuing comedy again? Spirit guide, should Bobby start pursuing comedy again? I say yes, but we'll see. Well, I'm wondering with comedy if something happened. Whoops. Because for this Three of Swords to come up, so I don't know if you hit a rift, if like you hit a block, that on an emotional level, it kind of just like it hit you like a ton of bricks. But I still get that it's something that you enjoy. Okay. Now, in regards to the answer, should you start pursuing comedy? If you kind of look at this, because I have to look at this more in like a dramatic, more like entertainment kind of way. It brings balance to you, but do you see how that guy looks like he's on a stage? Okay. People getting together, celebration, having drinks, a perfect match. You can manifest it, meaning you have the tools to make it happen. Okay. I think it would help for you. It's almost like it'll bring back that part of you that does enjoy humor, that likes to laugh, that at the end of the day, after being at a shitty job, it's like you have something to look forward to. You have something, you can be of service to other people. And that's one of the most healing things, Bobby, is when you're of service to other people. And it's something that I've basically lived my life doing. I'd say for right now in my life, for the last year, it's been tarot. But, I bought my first tarot deck, last July? So, but before that, it's always been either some sort of counseling, advising, mentoring at jobs, helping students, energy work, you name it, intuitive readings. So I think, and that's just what keeps coming up for me. I don't even have to pull cards on it. I feel like you're missing that creative part of you that exists. It's just a matter of doing it and believing in it. So if this helps, just like kind of like how you were talking about your YouTube channel, I was scared shitless, and I don't know why. Was I afraid of being in front of the camera? Absolutely not. I'm a ham when it comes to that stuff. But it was, am I confident enough? And a friend, and I don't know if this can relate or if you can take something from this, but a friend of mine told me, he's like, Bobby, you have to remember that, this is something that's natural within you. It's ability that you have, that if you're so worried about like, well, I don't want to say the wrong thing and this and that, it's like, well, you're offering this stuff for free online, okay, on YouTube. But at the same time, you have to remember that Spirit chose you. So if you're so focused on, well, I hope I say the right thing or that the message comes across right, my friend was like, it's not about you. You have to stop making this about you. You're just the vessel. Spirit chose you. So you need to trust that when you translate these messages, these images you see, these feelings that you get, the cards with pictures, whatever comes up, that's Spirit guiding you. Do it and let it go. And I think that's what's helped in my success. So should you start pursuing comedy? Yes. I feel like the comedy thing could like lead to things because it's from your past, right? Okay. It's separate from work, but I feel like there's potential for big growth there and other opportunities that you may not even have heard of yet. Okay. Your car issue. So it's funny because I think I mentioned this earlier. It's like my buddy, he's having car issues too, but he was also sick for probably 4 or 5 days. Didn't go to work. And when he started feeling better, we got in his car and he was like, yeah, I need to get my car fixed. There's something wrong with it. And it was shaking and doing all this stuff. And I just kept getting the feeling like it wasn't anything major. Costly. He ended up having a friend who fixed it for like not even half the price. But basically, when we were in his car, and he's kind of spiritual, but I basically said, he's like, I don't know what's going on with my car. I'm like, well, you were sick, so your car's sick. Because your car is a big part of you. A lot of the times people reference your car as your ego. Like if you have a dream about you driving a car and it's out of control, usually that means there's something in your life where you don't feel like you're in control of, but it's usually your ego. Your ego doesn't feel in control of something. So So spirit guides, for Bobby, will his car issue be resolved to his liking? Um, uh, I don't know if you went to two people. So I don't know if you went in for like a diagnostic or if you had somebody look at it. I feel like you're really praying like, please, 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 please be okay. You know, that's the last thing I need is to add something else to the plate. I don't know if you went to two separate people. Okay. You are coming up here, but then there's two other guys. So here, there's one person here where I don't know if this is somebody you talked to or you called or you took your car to, but you're like, I don't know. I don't know. Okay. So I don't know if you've actually taken it in because you're in the middle. Then we have the Two of Swords, which is, well, I know I need to get my car fixed, but then there's no action here. Then there's this King of Wands. See, it's happy. So whoever this is, hopefully you took your car to this guy. I feel like he'll take care of it. Okay. So will your car issue be resolved to your liking? I think so, but I think it depends on where you take it. So where should Bobby take his car? You haven't decided yet. Maybe you have, but you haven't. Yeah, a lot of like decide, decide, decide. Lover's card, decide. Judgment card, decide. Going back and forth on who do I go to. But it's making an offer or negotiating with somebody, talking about prices. Okay? Either way, the end is, it should be good. Okay? Actually, let's put it this way, because sometimes the message is, either way, you're going to be okay. How about that? All right? Because it's basically like this. You can have this outcome of like, yay, things are good. But they're saying, you got to decide. You got to decide. All right? Will you be moving back to Santa Fe? Bob, Santa Fe? Santa Fe, New Mexico? I lived there when I was 21 for 7 months. I was working for an independent record label. And I started hearing things and feeling things in terms of like it wasn't going so well. So I quit and moved back home to California, and they went under. Okay. Spirit guide, should Bobby be moving back to Santa Fe? Um, I don't think you're clear on that yet. I mean, I feel like you, in some ways, you're like, there's a plan set in mind, but I feel like you need to converse with or talk with others and get their opinion for some reason, because there is a little bit of uncertainty. Okay, because Spirit's saying that if you decide to do this, I don't know if you're planning on going by yourself, but Spirit's saying this would be a big change for you. This is a new chapter. I think overall the messages are that, especially with what you have, Bob, you can't let, and I don't know if this will resonate, you can't let things pile up in your life in terms of if you need decisions that you need to make. Sometimes it's just about taking a step. It's not about going back and forth on something. You just have to take a step and trust yourself. Because, you know, in terms of like, will you be moving back to Santa Fe? Well, it's like, well, this new beginning, it's like thinking a lot about it, stressing over it. There's you. But then once again, these two cards popped out. But you need to make a choice and a decision. Okay. I don't know if this is in relation to your ex or the woman that you're with right now, if it's to move where she's from or to move with her. Spirit guides, what's in Bobby's best interest in terms of where he lives? Should Bobby stay where he's at or should Bobby go? I don't know about Santa Fe. I feel like where you're at, and I'm sorry if I'm not there. I don't know if you like have an old kind of like love for Santa Fe or something, or if you've been there before. Um, it's almost like where you're at is the struggle of finding money or attaining money, the struggle. So I don't know if you live in a city, but you see how this guy's holding on to that money? Like, this is all I got, but you see the city behind him. And then we've got, well, if I move towards, you see it's like all about love, something that means something. You see how that kind of looks like Santa Fe, like going up. Love looks like Santa Fe. And I know that Santa Fe sits up like on a, but then there's sadness here with Santa Fe. Okay. I think overall you've got a lot of change that's coming up, Bob, and a lot of it has yet to be seen because, you know, it's a matter of taking steps and deciding. Um, Spirit saying it's really important from here on out with everything that you decide that you trust your gut. And if you need to pray, you need to pray. Because I feel like the reason why there's a lot of mixed kind of like things going on in your mind is because you're going back and forth on, it's like, okay, I want to do this. And then it's like somebody stopping you going, Bobby, do you really want to do that? Because if you do this, then this, and it's like, okay, you're right. Then I want to do this. So it's like getting really clear. Okay. Because new beginnings are wanting to happen in your life. A lot of them. I am getting a strong connection with the woman that you're with, that there's something there that maybe she plays a role in terms of where you decide to move forward. But I feel like overall, Spirit's saying your action right now is to get clear. To get clear and really trust yourself, because Queen of Cups is intuitive, on what you truly want and be honest with yourself, okay? What's working for you is your relationship, okay? It's almost like the possibilities are endless with that, and it's given you hope again. But in terms of new beginnings with everything else in your life, the challenge is deciding what do you want the most as far as new beginnings, okay? And because those haven't been decided, this new chapter in your life hasn't been able to start yet. But I think another one of the problems is you're maybe doubting what it is that you truly want as well, okay? I feel like the overall message is Spirit, this keeps coming up. I don't think you're depressed, but this Hermit card keeps coming up as a challenge. I feel like because Spirit's like they need you to just sit. They need you to just slow down and just, if you need to write everything down and be by yourself for a whole day, or if you just need to get very clear, that's what's going to allow this change to happen. Like major transformation is going to happen for you, Bob, but it's on the back burner right now. Okay. Getting clear is also going to help you to find your focus and just be very, because this card is very much like, I know what I want and I'm going in that direction. I don't need to ask myself anything. Okay. So It may mean letting go of ideas that you've been thinking about and letting them go. Okay? You may be concerned in terms of the woman that you're dating right now that whatever choices that you decide or make, it may influence her and her needs, and that may cause some sort of rift. Okay? In terms of your past, so whether this is acting, whether it's comedy, I feel like you are looking to start that again. But for some reason, there's confusion there. Okay? It is you. There's confusion in terms of, can I make this happen in my life? Can I make it? Will I find balance with that? But I feel like there's a part of you that wants it. Okay? Once again, and I've mentioned this before in your readings, your overall advice, Bobby, is mentally and physically, okay, is movement. Whatever that means, like you just have to take steps, okay? Even if you're unsure, I feel like taking a step forward is at least a direction, and it's in a direction somewhere, because for you right now, the only place you can go is higher, all right? That it's important for you in terms of movement, that you move towards things that make you happy, things that will lighten you up. The idea of whatever this, or this, and it makes you happy, okay? That way, you can really start building from something and start growing and feel like you're learning, feel like you're evolving, feel like you're growing. And it's going to create balance in your life, all right? And it'll be moving towards something you love, but you have to decide you're going to do that, okay? So I feel like overall, it's like getting back to the basics, Bob. You need to find whatever it is that makes you happy. The Bobby that I know, the Bobby that I first met, when I did your first reading, it's like the person that you were in terms of like living life and enjoying it. That's the one you need to find, because right now it's like possibly struggling for money or kind of holding yourself back in some ways. But I do feel like, once again, that your girl is she's really keeping you balanced, because I feel like if she wasn't there, you might be hurting a lot more. Okay, so thank goodness for that. All right, there she is again. Thank goodness for that. Otherwise, it'd be like really hard. So Spirit's saying, start narrowing it down, get clear. You have to get clear, because it's like Spirit hears you. They know that you want specific new beginnings, but it might not be what you're wanting. It might not be what Spirit's like, but you don't know it, but that's not in your best interest. So it's like you got to start narrowing it down so you can see the opportunities. Because right now it's like this, but like you're getting frustrated because all you see is this. Like, it's the same old, same old. Okay? They want you to see that. Okay? And once you see it, okay, then you can let go, okay, of what no longer is working. Any fears that are coming up, okay, you'll be able to walk away from them. And then you'll feel like you're moving forward. And I think a lot of it's going to have to do with your next job. But remember, things don't happen overnight. Okay? But if you're not taking any steps, then you stay in the same place. Okay? So if need be, reaching out. Okay? I feel like that's a good first step. If you haven't already been doing that in different ways, what is that called? Like marketing yourself or networking, okay? This is networking, okay? It will lead to some sort of victory. And I feel like part of you knows this. So I'm sure you've taken some steps, but I feel like it's important. It's like to amp it up, okay? So let me know. I hope that this reading was a little bit more helpful for you. If anything, watch the other video one more time. I feel like there's some, and remember, the readings aren't always going to be on point when you first watch them, but I feel like a lot of this is going to come to light, okay? And you just emailed me. What did you email me? I'm just going to read it while I'm recording for you. Let's see. Bobby, 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 let's go. It's loading, let's go. Cotton candy, sweetie, go. Let me see you tits roll. Why is this taking forever to load? Oh, isn't that funny? How I said you should probably watch your other video. It says, LOL, I'm watching my personal video again. Sorry you've been so serious. Don't worry about it. I get it. I can be very serious. I also like to have fun, so you're getting to see both sides. So this side right here, this like serious side, this is my Capricorn. You're just really down about not getting that job. Okay, I'm gonna tell you, Bob, that's an Aries trait because you get really pumped up about something. And that's one of the ways that you are a good manifester. But you said about me and my old lady, we should do a comedy show together. Bob, I have a lot of talents. I think I could do comedy. Mine would probably be I got jokes. I got jokes. Um, I'm a character. Usually, the people around me, like my friends and family, they're the only ones that see that. This is like totally serious, Bobby, right now. Um, I'm half Filipino, so I noticed that, like Joe Coy and there's this girl, Mary the Filipino girl or whatever on Facebook. They all do that, and I do a lot of like stuff the way that my mom would talk. My mom's funny. The way that she says certain words and whatnot. My mom's like this. She's like, I'll call her up. Like she's very kind of disconnected. Like she's not like a big like talk about feelings and shit. It's funny because I talk this way. I'm very American, Caucasian. We like call her up. Actually called her the other day. It's like, hey mom, hey Bob. Go, what are you doing? And it's like she didn't hear me because she's already talked. She's like, what are you doing? I was like, oh, I just hadn't heard from you for a while. I just wanted to check in. Oh yeah, I'm doing good. I'm sitting around the house. I have to go to work soon, and I'm just being kind of lazy. I'm like, cool. One of my mom's favorite lines that I like. One time I was walking around the house and she goes, ah. And I went, what's wrong, Mom? And she goes, oh, I don't know. I'm so boring. I went, Mom, you're not boring. You're fun. She's like, no, like I'm boring. I don't have anything to do. I was like, you mean you're bored? It's not boring. It's bored. Oh, whatever. You're just like your father. You always have to correct me. Your daddy, he's an asshole. So, yeah. Um, Bob, you need to do something with like comedy and all that. I think the seriousness of just like, I think this is a good lesson for you that you get really serious. You get so focused on something. It's like you put everything into it. You know what I mean? And I get it. When you want it, you want it. But those have been some of my biggest disappointments when I know I want something and I don't get it. I feel totally bummed out. You know. But thank goodness I didn't get those opportunities because other opportunities popped up and it's like, there we go. So that's the part in terms of we can manifest what we want, but sometimes the universe is like, sorry, you think that that's what's best for you, but we can't even fathom how planned out or the things that they see in our life that we're destined to go through. So best of luck to you. Keep me posted, and I'll send this over to you right now.